Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching The Breakfast Show on Now TV International. As we said earlier in this segment of the show that we shall be talking more about women empowerment and also the state's effort that has been very keen to launch strategies, initiatives and programs to support women and engage them more in the society, whether politically, economically or socially. And to dig more into this topic, we're most delighted to be joined over the phone by Dr. Reem Bedeer, Associate Professor at the Graceland University at the USA. Good morning, Dr. Reem.
Good morning to you, Mom. It's always a pleasure to be with you and your esteemed audience.
We're very happy to have you with us right now, and actually talking about women empowerment and how women are actually taking huge roles in the Egyptian society right now and are actually granting a lot of power right now. What are the key factors that you think influence women empowerment in Egypt?
Of course, globally, let's start with talking about women's contribution, significant contribution to economic development as employees, as entrepreneurs, and consumers. Women account for 37% of the global business, creating millions of jobs and fostering innovation. Actually, studies suggest closing gender gap in the workforce could increase global GDP by 12 trillion. More specifically about Egypt's women economic contributions are evident as they represent 25% of the labor force, and women own predominantly about 18% of small and medium-sized enterprises. Their involvement in sectors such as textile, healthcare, and agriculture has significantly boosted the economic output of Egypt, with a women-led business employing thousands and contributing billions of the Egyptian pounds to the economic annually.
Yes, and commenting on what you just said, we have to focus on February 2024. Actually, women, they held 27.7% of the seats in the Egyptian parliament, and that reflects a significant increase in political appearance or political representation since they gained the right to vote and run for the office in 1956. So how do you see this step?
Indeed, women's inclusion ensures diverse perspectives in governance, leading to more stable political situations. For example, for countries with higher female representation in the parliament, report improved outcomes in healthcare and education. More specifically, in Egypt, women now hold like 27% of the parliament seats, compared to just 22% of decades ago. This progress actually allowed women to advocate for policies addressing child welfare, healthcare, and gender-based violence. This representation in decision-making process has directly contributed to the Egypt's social and economic growth. Actually, in Egypt, we have different programs that try to build generation of capable facing future challenges. Women contribute as educators, by installing the capabilities and innovation in younger generations. Women's involvement in political and social decision-making in parliament and different leading positions in the governmental sector in Egypt increased the innovation in younger generations and in women involvement in decision-making process and environmental aspects. All these can lead to the increase the stability and the involvement of women in the Egyptian society.
Yes, of course, we witnessed a lot of sectors being, with the women being present in them. But allow me to ask you, what other sectors do you think we need to have more women participation in them?
Actually, women are there in different sectors. When you just observe the economic map of different sectors, like educated women globally have fewer children, higher income, and healthier families. According to the UNESCO estimates that if all girls completed secondary education, the child mortality was reduced by 39%. Furthermore, women education accelerates social progress by promoting gender equality and reducing poverty cycles. More specifically in Egypt, the national reforms like education to level have increased the girls' enrollment rate and literacy level. Women with higher education contribute to improved public health outcomes and social stability. Like, for example, the literacy rate among Egyptian women rose to 75% in the recent years, directly impacting the family well-being and workforce participation.
Yes, you just bring out a very interesting topic. Yes, sadly, until now, in some rural areas, we suffer from families not educating their children, the girls, I mean, over the boys. So how do we fight this? Because this contributes to, and it actually affects the women participation in the future, in all segments and in all sectors. So how do we fight this, and how we encourage the families to help empower their girls and boost their education and focus on their education so they can be something in the future?
Of course, globally, laws addressing gender-based equality and workplace discrimination and equal pay create a framework for gender equality. For example, parental level policies and protections for working mothers promote work-life balance. In Egypt, the law reforms have strengthened the women's rights. The country has implemented anti-harassment laws with strict balances, ensuring safer public spaces. Law enhancements provide greater financial outcome, and labor law reforms guarantee the equal pay and paid maternity level. These measures reflect the Egyptian commitment to safeguarding women's rights and encourage them to be more participating in the Egyptian society. In Egypt, more specifically, women's leadership drives innovations and decision-making. Studies show that organizations with a gender diverse leadership perform 21% better than their counterparts in terms of profitability. So we observe women in board of directors, we observe women percentage increase in the Egyptian parliament, we observe women percentage representation in the Egyptian ministry. So we observe increasing of the women representation in many high-level decision-making process. We observe the results, and many studies report a significant increase in the profitability and the governance that women raise in their high-level position. And when we increase the percentage of women representation on the board of the directors, we observe a significant increase in the nice performance of the corporate or in the organization, whether they are in the governmental sector or in the private sector.
Yes, and how do you see economic empowerment actually contributing to women's overall independence?
Of course, economic empowerment involves access to education, and financial independence.
Yes.
In Egypt, women programs such She Trades Egypt provide women entrepreneurs with access to global markets. Actually, the Egyptian government has also prioritized the financial inclusion with over 70% of microfinance loans now allocated to women. So now, day by day, the economic society trusts more in women's empowerment in economic development. Additionally, training initiatives in high-demand sectors enable women to integrate into the workforce, directly contributing to the sustainable development of the society. In Egypt, the national reforms like women leading have increased the girls and women enrollment rate in the Egyptian economic society.
Yes, other than training, what other initiatives were actually initiated by the Egyptian government in support for women empowerment and them being entrepreneurs as well?
Of course, there is different sectors like culture and social values events. Women play a significant role in preserving traditions and advocating for gender equality. Initiative led by the National Council for Women in Egypt emphasizes on the awareness of key social issues such as child marriage and literacy. Additionally, Egyptian women participation in festivals, arts, and community programs that blend modern ideas with cultural traditions and ensuring women representation. Actually, initiatives also like Hayat Karima engage women in the rural development and poverty. Alternatives with a project in the really far and rural areas in Egypt by offering mentorship programs and legislation support. These efforts actually help women to lead community-driven initiatives like Hayat Karima. Of course, women's participation in the capable and also as a volunteer activities has grown significantly with the government and NGOs activity promoting their roles all over Egypt.
Yes, Dr. Reem Bedeer, Associate Professor at the Graceland University, USA. Thank you so much for giving us these valuable insights regarding this very important topic and rewarding women empowerment and much more. Thank you so much, dear viewers. A short break and we'll be right back.